Hey guys, good afternoon. I am Reverend Ordo, and this is the anonymous Mando'Ade network. And I'm here in my backyard, which needs to be mowed, by the way. I'm having fun doing it, by the way. But California lawmakers are after Tuesday. They really went to overdrive and filed a lawsuit because of the way Prop 50 was passed like that, so quickly. Now, Gavin Newsom knows that most of California is red. Every district from Redding on down to close to LA County is red. There's 2-3 counties that are blue, but most is red. And the reason is what Texas did. Texas didn't need a prop to have people vote for to do some realigning, some redistricting, to redistrict itself, So, Prop 50 is unconstitutional, but it also violates the California Constitution, It doesn't just violate the Constitution, but also the state's Constitution as well. Now, he is trying to remove a few districts that are red, and now he wants to redistrict Southern California. I don't know about all of California, but it's Southern California where he wants to add 2 or 3 new districts and shit, which would give Democrats 4 or 5 new seats, which definitely will backfire because the thing is, Prop 50 takes away. Now there's a committee of Democrats, Independents, and Republicans that decide the realignment, the redistricting, And what this Prop 50 has done is violate the Constitution, violate the law. And the thing is, Gavin Newsom wants to look good when he runs for president. And he's trying to save his own ass so he can run in 2028. Fucker. Now, the thing is, it's not going to look good for him because he's trying everything in his power as governor to really fuck over every single California voter. And it's not going to look good for him because the thing is, it's a scam. Prop 50 is a scam. You had Barack Obama, Elizabeth Warren, AOC, even himself, and a few other Democrats from other states backing Prop 50, And it's like, dude, you're violating the law. Prop 50 is going to backfire because the thing is, he thinks that if Prop 50 will get Democrats 4 or 5 seats in Congress, I'm sorry. You're going to have people who will end up pretty much keeping those seats. Because the thing is, he's targeting certain districts, certain seats and wants to add 2 or 3 new ones, which would give most definitely Democrats 4 or 5 seats in Congress. Well, the thing is, what if it backfires? Right? What if it backfires? Here's what Democrats don't understand. What if it backfires? Right? Because remember, because we all know Tuesday was the election, a 2025 midterm election. Okay. Now, the dude in Minnesota, right? He's a Somalian, and L.M. Omar was behind the guy, and it's funny. It's funny because they're all thinking, "Oh, he's gonna win. He's gonna win. He's gonna win." He lost. He lost. Right? Because they see what's happening in Dearborn, Michigan, right? And the Democrats were hoping to have 3 Muslim mayors in Dearborn, Michigan, in Minnesota. Now we got one in New York, which that would definitely would I mean, look here. It would most definitely, right? Most definitely backfire, because the thing is, people are already leaving New York. They're already leaving New York. Okay. They're already leaving New York, and a few NYPD officers who left the force are headed to Miami and other places. Because there's a guy, he's 34 years old and shit, 34? Never held office, has no idea what the hell he's doing, People who voted for him are going to realize, when they look at their tax return, right? He wants to raise taxes by 90%, right? If you live in New York, make sure you check your income tax in April of next year. Okay? Because even Governor Hochul says he can't raise taxes. He can't. He's not a lawmaker. Okay? Now, the city council in New York, they can block everything. Because this guy wants to have a government-ran store and shit. Good luck with that. Give people free housing? Dude, who's going to pay for it? Right? When you ask the question, when the question's asked, who's going to pay for it? Right? You're going to get, where's the money going to come from? I mean, you're basically telling landlords, sorry, man, we're going to take over your housing, man. We're going to give housing to people for free. See, when someone says that shit, you're going to get selfish and ignorant people who vote for a selfish and ignorant leader, right? The Czar Mando'Ade, he's toast. He's finished. He's done, because he's causing people who brought in money in New York City to leave, okay? Because socialism does not work, okay? Communism does not work. Capitalism is like a two-sided coin, right? Now, AOC, socialist, right? Bernie Sanders, he's a socialist, right? He says we need to get out of the we need to go after Mando'Ade, and Mando'Ade have percent of their wealth. Bernie Sanders has been a socialist his whole life, man. Right? He's been a socialist his whole life. Okay? And now the thing is, he owns 2 mansions, right? He's a multi-millionaire, right? And he wants to go after millionaires and billionaires, right? Hypocrite, you know. Anybody in Vermont who voted for the guy, you voted for a hypocrite for decades, man. He's a socialist. If he was a socialist mayor in town in Vermont, that town's going to end up going broke. Okay? And he's independent, and he turned his back on that cause, man. How many people are independents, right? How come nobody is talking about the Libertarian Party, right? You hear about Democrats, Republicans, and Independents, but how come nobody's mentioning Libertarians, man? Right? Libertarians. Well, what about us, man, you know? And it's really insane because, look, you have to really have common sense, because you gotta think, man. For one, look at Venezuela, right? Venezuela. You go to the nearest store, right? Grocery store. Completely empty. Not one thing. No bread, no milk, no anything. Nothing. Why? Because the stores and the pharmacies are government ran. Okay? They're government ran. Now, if you remove socialism from Venezuela, right? How come the military, anybody in the military, aren't thinking like they have families that are suffering, man? You know, like, why am I here, right? Why am I being a bodyguard for a guy who pretty much is a socialist and is taking from our people? Taking away from the children and the elderly. How come not one? I mean, you do not hear anything in the news about breaking. Nicolas Maduro has been assassinated, killed by one of his own guards, because the media will not show that, right? Because most of the media is left-leaning, completely left-leaning, right? But they'll do the news on Gaddafi, right? 14 years ago, right? 14 years ago, you know? It's one thing that, because socialism does not work, okay? They can talk about, we're gonna halt the rent and give people free housing. This is why you never ever let somebody like Zoran Mamdani in office, because this guy has no idea what the fuck he's doing. He knows nothing about economics, knows nothing about whatever, He's toast, he's done. Alright guys, peace out.